Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night to the sound of your dog barking at absolutely nothing? No one at the door, no car outside, just your dog, wide awake, staring into a dark corner of the room like something is there. It's unsettling. It's confusing. And honestly, it's one of the most mysterious things dogs do. But what if I told you that your dog isn't barking at nothing? What if there is actually something happening around your home every single night that you are completely unaware of, and your dog has known about it all along? Tonight, we're going to step inside the secret nighttime world that your dog lives in. And by the end of this, you will never look at your dog's late night behavior the same way again. Most dog owners assume that when their dog barks at night, it's either a bad habit or an overreaction. Maybe they think the dog is just anxious or bored or acting out. And so they do what feels natural. They shush the dog, they pull them back to bed, they try to get back to sleep as fast as possible. But here's the thing almost no one talks about. Your dog is not malfunctioning when this happens. Your dog is doing exactly what thousands of years of evolution designed them to do. They are guarding you. They are sensing the world around your home with abilities so far beyond human perception that scientists are still trying to fully understand them. And every single night, while you sleep peacefully, your dog is wide awake, watching, listening, smelling, and feeling things that are completely invisible to you. So let's talk about what is actually happening. The first thing you need to understand is just how different your dog's senses are from yours. When you walk into a dark room at night, you see darkness. Maybe some shadows, maybe the faint outline of furniture if there's a little moonlight coming through the window. But when your dog walks into that same room, they are receiving an almost overwhelming flood of information. Dogs have a layer of tissue behind their retinas called the tapetum lucidum. This is the biological structure that makes their eyes glow in the dark when light hits them. And it also means that your dog can see in light levels roughly 5 times lower than what human eyes require. That dark hallway you can barely navigate without bumping into a wall, your dog sees it almost as clearly as daylight. So when your dog is staring into what looks like empty darkness to you, they are not staring at nothing. They are watching something move, or they are watching a space where something recently was. But vision is honestly the least impressive part of what your dog is experiencing at night. Sound is where things get truly remarkable. The human ear can detect sounds in a frequency range of roughly 20 to 20,000 hertz. That already sounds impressive, until you realize that your dog hears sounds between 40 and 65,000 hertz. That means your dog is hearing an entire world of sound that exists completely above the ceiling of human perception. Every night, around your home, there are sounds happening constantly. The ultrasonic squeaking of mice moving inside your walls, the high-frequency chirping of bats flying over your roof, the subtle vibrations of pipes contracting in the cold, the distant footsteps of a person or animal walking down your street 3 houses away. You hear none of this. Your dog hears all of it. And not only do they hear it, they can pinpoint exactly where it's coming from, because those large mobile ears of theirs can rotate and tilt independently, essentially working like 2 satellite dishes scanning the environment for signals. So, the next time your dog suddenly snaps awake and starts staring at your wall at 2 in the morning, consider this. They may be hearing something living inside that wall. Something small. Something that has been there for weeks. Something you had absolutely no idea about. And then there is smell. This is the sense that most people underestimate the most, and it is the one that gives your dog access to information that truly has no human equivalent. The human nose contains about 6 million scent receptors. Impressive on its own. Your dog's nose contains up to 300 million. And the part of the dog's brain that is devoted to analyzing smells is, proportionally, about 40 times larger than the same region in your brain. What this means in practical terms is almost impossible for us to fully grasp. Imagine if you could smell not just what something is, but where it's been, how long ago it was there, which direction it was moving, whether it was afraid or calm, and whether it has been in that spot before. That is what your dog's nose tells them every single night. When the air cools after dark, scent actually travels differently than it does during the day. Smells settle lower to the ground and linger longer. This is one of the reasons dogs often seem more alert and reactive at night. The scent information they are receiving is richer and more detailed. A fox that passed through your backyard hours ago has left a scent trail your dog can still read like a fresh headline. A raccoon sleeping under your porch is broadcasting its presence like a radio signal your dog is tuned perfectly to receive. And if an unfamiliar person walked near your fence line tonight, your dog knows about it. Your dog knew about it before that person even reached your gate. Now, here is something that most dog owners have never considered, and it genuinely changes the way you understand your dog's nighttime behavior. Dogs can sense changes in atmospheric pressure. There is growing scientific evidence that dogs are sensitive to the shifts in barometric pressure that precede storms, earthquakes, and other environmental events. Their inner ears and bodies pick up on subtle pressure changes that happen hours before any human can detect them through ordinary senses. This is why so many dog owners report their pets becoming restless, anxious, or unusually alert in the hours before a major storm, even when the sky outside still looks perfectly clear. Your dog is not being dramatic. Your dog is reading the atmosphere. They are responding to a warning system built into their biology that we simply do not have access to. And it doesn't stop there. Dogs can also sense vibrations through the ground with remarkable sensitivity. The pads of their paws, their legs, and even their chest and jaw pick up low-frequency vibrations that travel through solid surfaces. Before earthquakes, before landslides, before the rumble of heavy machinery approaching from a distance, dogs feel the world moving beneath them in a way that humans are essentially deaf to. There are documented cases from around the world of dogs behaving in agitated, unusual ways in the hours before a significant earthquake struck. They weren't seeing ghosts. They were feeling the earth telling them something was coming. So when your dog starts pacing near the window at midnight, or pressing close to the floor and whining softly, and you look outside and see nothing, remember this. You are only seeing the world with human eyes. Your dog is reading a version of that same night that is exponentially more detailed, more layered, and more full of real information than anything your senses can access. Let's talk about something that connects all of this back to you personally, because this is the part that most dog owners find deeply emotional when they truly understand it. Your dog is not just reacting to the outside world at night. They are also watching over you. There is a reason your dog often sleeps facing the door of your bedroom, or positions themselves between you and the entrance to your home. There is a reason they lift their head and scan the room when the house makes a sound at 3 a.m., even if you didn't hear anything. This behavior is rooted in thousands of years of co-evolution between dogs and humans. Long before dogs were pets, they were partners. They slept at the edges of human camps and human shelters, not because they were told to, but because guarding the people they bonded with was as natural to them as breathing. That ancient role never left them. It is woven into who they are, at a level deeper than training, deeper than habit. It lives in their instincts. When your dog barks at night, in many cases, what they are doing is fulfilling a promise they made to you without words. They are saying, I am here. I am watching. Nothing will reach you without going through me first. There is something quietly profound about that when you really sit with it. Now, let's get specific about some of the most common things happening around and inside your home at night that your dog is almost certainly aware of, and that most owners would be genuinely surprised to know about. Wildlife activity around residential homes increases dramatically after dark. Raccoons, opossums, foxes, deer, coyotes in suburban areas, rats, mice, and dozens of species of insects and birds are all moving, feeding, and passing through properties at night. Most homeowners have no idea just how much animal activity occurs within a few feet of their house every single night. Your dog, however, tracks all of it. The raccoon that tips over your trash can before you wake up, your dog heard it arrive, watched it through the window, and has already filed away exactly what it smells like and where it went. The family of mice living in the space between your kitchen wall and your cabinet, your dog has known about them for weeks. They've probably been sitting near that wall during the day, tilting their head, listening to tiny movements you will never hear. Inside the house, sounds and smells that seem like nothing to you are a constant stream of data for your dog. The ticking and settling of wooden floors and beams as temperatures drop at night, the smell of gas or electrical components that might be warming up in ways they shouldn't, the sound of a water pipe that is beginning to weaken. Dogs have been documented detecting gas leaks, electrical fires in early stages, and even carbon monoxide before human detectors have triggered. There are families who are alive today because their dog woke them up barking at nothing, only for them to discover a slow gas leak or a smoldering fire inside a wall. Your dog's nighttime alertness is not something to be annoyed by. In some cases, it is something that has saved lives. And here is one final thing about your dog's nighttime world that I want you to carry with you. Dogs dream. Science has confirmed it. Their sleep cycles include REM phases very similar to human REM sleep. And during those phases, their brains show activity patterns that strongly suggest they are experiencing something very much like dreaming. When you watch your dog sleeping and their paws twitch, their lips curl, their eyes move behind closed lids, they are somewhere else in their mind. And researchers believe that dogs often dream about the people and experiences that matter most to them, which means there is a meaningful chance that right now, somewhere in the quiet of your sleeping home, your dog is dreaming about you. They spend their nights watching over you, sensing the world around you, guarding the space where you sleep, responding to 1,000 things you will never know about. And then when they finally close their eyes, they dream about the person they do all of it for. That is not just interesting dog behavior. That is one of the most loyal and quietly beautiful things that exists in the natural world. So the next time your dog wakes you up at 3 a.m., barking at a shadow, staring at a wall, pacing in the hallway, take a breath before you get frustrated. Look at them. Really look. Because what you're seeing is an animal that has devoted its entire sensory world, its ancient instincts, its whole heart to keeping you safe in the dark. And they do it every single night, without being asked, without expecting anything in return. That is your dog. And now you know what they've been doing all along.